Welcome to another episode of Iron Panther Presents. Today we shall be discussing Interview with the Vampire as we talk about Season 2, Episode 5. Another great episode for another great series. But again, as we got to say on here, if you like, please like on the video, comment on the video, share the video, help us grow the family. What do you think about the vampires? Hey, we're going to talk about that after the intro. So sit back, enjoy the intro, and then we'll start the show. Oh, wait. I got to do it now. Wait. This is going to be funny. Wait. You ready? I got to do it.
This is awesome. This is amazing. I love it.
It was psychological. It was emotional.
Extremely entertaining.
But as always, as we try to say here, as we said, if you are new to the channel, please subscribe to the channel. And as we talk about this video, please like on the video and comment on the video, and we will get back to you as soon as possible. Alrighty, thank you everyone for being patient with us. Some of our other reviews ran a little bit long, but we are here for Interview with the Vampire, going back to San Francisco, circa 1973. So we talk about that, what was going on with that issues. What do we like about this episode? What did we learn about these characters? A lot, I would say. But anyway, Chris, do you have anything positive? Because we know how Jemima feels. But
I was about to say, is there a reason why you didn't start with Jemima?
I was like, come on, we'll start with Chris. Anything positive? Right. What you got?
Yeah, no, I really like this episode, even though, I mean, ironically enough, that this episode didn't really do anything for the actual plot of the show itself. It was still a really good episode. As far I just like the fact that you, for the first time ever, you see that both Louis and Daniel are victims. You know what I mean? And they kind of had a companionship in a weird way, even though literally Louis was about to kill Daniel. You know what I mean? In the flashback. So I love the fact that I just love how it was even filmed in the sense of like Louis will remember something and Daniel's like, no, that's not how I remember it. No, wait. It's like, no. And then he's playing the audio, you know, you can see, and then I don't know if you notice, but he kept looking at the time and whatnot, just kind of seeing like how long Armand was still out, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And all that. It was really cool how they did it. I even thought the guy playing the young Daniel, but he was good. He was just like him, you know what I mean? Yeah. They did great acting choice there. Either great acting choice or the actors did a good job replicating it. You know what I mean? So, I thought all of that was good. And the funny thing is, even with this episode, they didn't even have to do it. There wasn't even like that much action in it. And at least for me, I thought it was still a really good episode because of that. You know what I mean? The most action was literally when Louis just went to try to fry himself out in the sun. You know what I mean? So yeah, I thought all that was really dope. And that cliffhanger-esque, let's be real, the cliffhanger next episode is just going to be like them just yelling at each other, like, why'd you do that to me? Why'd you do that? You know, but but just the whole idea of just both of them together looking at Armand, and Armand's looking like he knows what's up. But at that point, he's like, oh shit, y'all know what's up. Like, y'all know what I did, don't y'all? It's like, damn it. You know what I mean? Armand had that look. He's like, God damn it, I'm immortal, but I cannot stop this. So, but yeah, overall, great episode. So with just 3 characters, or 4 technically. So yeah.
All right, Chris. Thank you. Let's talk about Kim. What did you think of this episode? This Claudia minus episode.
I liked it. I enjoyed the acting. It was fantastic, like KK said. These are really phenomenal actors, and I thought that the young man who played Daniel, the younger Daniel, he really had Daniel down. Like his mannerism, his voice. Was really close to the actual, actor. And even on when they had the discussion, after it goes off and they have the after show, even the actor who plays Daniel was like, he noticed that the young man was watching him, like, in between takes and trying to get his mannerisms down, his voice and all those things. And that's when you're learning your craft, right? You're trying to get better and as close as you can to what, to what Daniel sounds like, look like, man, all of that. And some actors don't do that, but I think that this young man really wanted to impress. I mean, you're with 3 really good actors, and you want to be just as good as them, right? So and you're young, right? You're much younger than these guys. So I thought that was really good. I just enjoyed it. I thought that it was just the acting. It was the way it looked. I like that, and the fact that Ahmad has to me been the puppet master of Louis and Daniel for like a long time, and it's good that we're finally seeing that, right? Like he's the one pulling the strings for both of these men. We kind of knew that, but this was more in depth, and I enjoyed that a lot. I did.
All right, Jamani, do you have a positive for this episode?
Yeah, I just want to say shout out just in case that is Kim Kardashian in the chat because there's no picture.
Huh?
You're so silly. What's going
on?
Okay.
So yeah, I thought this was the best episode of the season. Even though it's like a bottle island type of episode, like standalone episode, and yeah, I thought it was better than Vampire Diaries that we've been getting. So yeah.
All right. In particular, things stood out for you in particular. I mean, it's a big statement for this episode of the season. So anything that really drove it home for you?
Yeah, I'm just a very what do you call it? Like critical type of person. So I was looking at the authenticity of certain things, and I was researching. Did this exist in 1973? And sure enough, it did. So a lot of stuff checked out.
Attention to detail.
Yeah. But yeah, I just, especially the fact that I've been complaining every week about what the hell's his name?
I don't know.
The blonde guy. The
blonde guy. Lestat.
Right? Yes, we didn't see him. We only heard him. And what we heard from him was key. And that's all we needed. We didn't need any more than what we got. And I thought it was perfect.
Okay.
I do not understand why you have a problem with Lestat.
Because he's white. Because he's white. That's why he got a problem with white people for some reason. I was like, because he's a white blonde-haired dude.
in Jamani's defense, I said, okay, we're gonna get an episode without Lestat and without Claudia. We're really gonna get into Armand. He's gonna get to shine this episode. And be damned, they figured out a way to put Sam Reed in this episode still. They did. And I was like, "Come on, bro!" Like,
but that was cool how they did it, though.
It's not the like. Give this actor some room to be like, I can have center stage. But I think that's critical to what they're trying to say. Armand has always been in Lestat's shadow when it comes to Louis.
Yeah, that's true.
And that's the crust of one of the many issues between them. That no matter what I do for you, and I put up with you. Lestat will always be number one, and I cannot get out of that, and he feels trapped. And I thought the episode showed more of Armand's power, what he actually could do if he wanted to.
Yeah.
But he puts all of that into keeping Louis happy and to keep him focused. And Louis is an entitled sugar baby. I know I've said this.
He's spoiled. Isn't he spoiled?
He's a spoiled brat.
Is he a sugar baby? Is he 1 minute he's a sugar baby, then the next minute he's the pimp? Because he's saying, "Yeah,
he's a sugar baby
now? Or are you gonna kill me?"
You're right, Jamani. But that's the sugar baby capability that he manipulates the situation because. He has not taken care of himself since he's become a vampire. Lestat took care of him. Now Armand takes care of him. Yep. And as much as he like, I don't like you, daddy. I don't want to be here. Your ass don't go nowhere.
Wait. There was a time between Lestat and Armand, and Claudia was taking care of him.
Look at that. And I was saying, like, right, you're right, because then she was the leader. But I was saying when he knows who keeps a roof over his head, all the roofs, and he's like, you know what? As much as this stuff gets on my nerves, I ain't going nowhere.
But I want to say this. I thought I was watching Let the Right One In when he went outside and got fried and came back.
All right. Okay, I give you that. You're giving that show too much credit, but I see where you're going with that. I see where you're going with that. But that also shows decades later that Claudia, it's not just Lestat, the death of Claudia is hanging over them. That once he remembered, it was when Daniel got him to Claudia, and he remembered that Claudia's gone and she's not coming back, that he attacked him. Like that's what set him off.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then once he was like, she's gone. Like, and it's like, I think, and again, we said Armand wiped his. It's not manipulation as much as it's caring for him. Like, you don't want to remember, and I don't want you to have to remember. But once he started to remember, he was like, I'll go kill myself, damn it. Like, I will go to the sun if I have to, because what happened to Claudia? He's like, can you hear her? Like, can you hear? I'm like, that's gonna be hard to watch. It's gonna be hard to watch when that happens, because it's wrecked them. It's wrecked them in many ways, and I thought that was a lot going on. But like Chris, like you said, to see these two people need each other, Daniel and Louis were both like, they need each other to figure out what Armand did, right? And they were sitting with their feet in the sand, like staring at the tree. Yeah,
that was good.
That was good, right?
That was some. I don't know how they actually filmed that, but that was very, very. That was very creative how they did it, and and that's. Is AMC? I guess we can't be too surprised, because this is the same network that brought us stuff like Breaking Bad and stuff like that, right? So, but that, and I think I got to agree with Jamani for a second, because I think this probably is. I will say, as far, I can't remember all the episodes from last season, but I would say as far as this season goes, this probably is my favorite episode. And it is the one episode that doesn't have that much action in it, but it's just them. It was like them trying to like decipher what all happened together. You know what I mean? Yeah. I like that. That was cool. And the irony is, it's like these two were like, it was like for once Louis was mortal. You know what I mean? He was on the same level as Daniel. Like he's so much more powerful with Daniel, but that moment he's just as vulnerable as Daniel together. You know what I mean? And that was so cool. I don't know. It just showed how mortal he was, even though he's not. You know what I mean? If that
vulnerable.
Sense.
How vulnerable he
vulnerable,
is.
Yeah. Vulnerable. Yeah.
And it was awesome that Daniel saw Louis as the threat. You tried to kill me, right? Like Armand is the one that say, like, he believed that. Mm-hmm. That part was true, but in the end, it was Daniel. It was Louis, excuse me, that saved Daniel. And not only did he do it, like he set his mind for the next like 30 years. Like it's like it was you, like these words that have kept me focused and kept me on my job. It was you that was like, you can be something and you're gonna go somewhere and don't ever change. And it's like, and he was like, thank you. Yeah. Like he was like, thank you. Like you're the one. You're the one that's kept me going all these years, and I didn't even know it.
Right.
And I was like, wow, like that's awesome.
But ironically, Armand also saved Daniel's life in the very beginning too. So it's like it's interesting. I'm repeating what you're saying. This is very interesting how they played both of it. You know,
it's all Louis' fault, y'all. Everything that happens is Louis' fault. Claudia is the vampire because of Louis. All Louis, Lestat, and Louis, Lestat, and Claudia were happy. They were happy until Louis' mom died, and he started hating Lestat for making him a vampire. Mm-hmm. Lestat and Claudia were the tightest because they loved to hunt and kill people. But once Louis chose Claudia over Lestat, then Lestat started to hate Claudia. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I'm like, it all comes back to Louis' love. Daniel was being tortured because Armand was like, you think he's fascinating and I've been taking care of you all these years, you ungrateful piece of shit. And instead of going after Louis, he's beating up Daniel.
Yeah. Because he doesn't want to touch Louis. Yeah.
Because he can't hurt Louis. He can't hurt Louis. When Lestat whooped Louis' ass last season, and he did whoop his ass, it was because he chose Claudia. Because in his mind, you're about to leave me for this girl, and I made her for you, even though I told you that wasn't a good idea. I'm like, it all comes back to Louis in some way. Yeah. It was so good. We needed to get these pieces put together, and that's why this was such a good episode, because you understand. But this is my. We talk about this every episode. clearly Louis and Armand, especially Armand, can see that Daniel is lying to them. That there's something going on with him. Like this whole, oh, my assistant this and my assistant that. Like neither one of these vampires go into his mind to be like, who is this guy that you were talking to at the cafe yesterday? Like no one's checking his computer. Like this don't make any sense. Like y'all, you need to be a lot more suspicious.
Yeah.
That was my problem. That I thought.
Well, the problem is, I mean, they can't with a show like this. You can't have them reading everybody's mind, because at that point, then there will be no actual real plot, because they would know everything. You see what I'm saying? No. I mean, no, you're right. What you're saying is not wrong. It's just we won't really have much of a show if that's all they're doing.
All right. So my thing is, I saw Armand look through the tapes, right, that Daniel had.
Yeah.
And it was, he was speaking to this person and that person before he had started speaking to Louis. And he starts pulling the tape apart, right? But he doesn't do it to the tape that actually has Louis on there.
Well, that's because he wanted to listen to it. Like and that's also self-torture.
No, but I'm saying after he did listen to it, he let him leave with it.
He let Daniel leave with it. That is true. That's true. He did let Daniel leave with it. So I think they also made Louis a villain too. They did. And this is the other thing. Again, Lestat's whole thing was, you need to kill people. We are killers, Louis. Like, why are you doing this whole I eat rats and stuff? Like, you're better than me. Now, all of a sudden, Louis is murdering 3 times a year at least. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, if you would have did that with Lestat, you wouldn't even be in this problem. You two would be happy together. What happened? Like, we need to understand when Louis became very comfortable with killing people on a pretty regular basis.
Well,
3 times a year is not a regular basis.
No,
that's
for a vampire.
Well, okay. So the way in Paris he was killing more than that. The reason I say 3 times because that is the phrase that Armand used. Your triannual, like your triannual, find somebody, fuck them, eat them, and then move on, right? Like so, something like that. But that's 3 times more than he was doing with Lestat. Is what I'm saying. Because and that angered Lestat, and Claudia actually. And that was a rift between Claudia too. So I'm like, when did he become like, yeah?
So is Daniel, because he got bit by Armand and Louis? What is Daniel? Is Daniel what is he? I mean, because I thought when a vampire bites you, you're a vampire.
No. You gotta drink the blood. You
gotta do both. It's not that.
Yeah.
It's not that type of movie. I hear you, but this one's like, you had to do now. Both. I mean, it's like you had to be close to death and then have their blood in you.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. To your point though, because when he levitated at first, I thought he was flying at first. When Daniel, I was like, and then it didn't hit me that, oh snap, Omar's doing that to him. I was like, oh, because at first I was like, wait, did he suppress Daniel's mind to think that he's not a vampire? I was really confused. I'm like, that's not in the book. I was like, what is this? You know what I mean? But I was like, and then I was like, duh.
Armand is beating the shit out that dude.
Beating the mess out of him. Like making him like, I didn't even think about the whole idea of like making him crouch like that. And then I was like, oh my God, give him a Charlie horse and everything.
Yeah.
I was like, oh.
He's like, please let me go. He's like, I'm sorry, you're more fascinating than me. Yeah. Like, I can read minds. I can break you right now. I was like, look, I'm sorry your man chose me over you, but please stop doing this. He's like, I'll suck your dick. I was like, this is too much.
No. When Daniel was like, oh, I thought we didn't do anything. Oh, thank God.
Yeah.
I think that's why both his marriages failed. That Daniel's gay, he just don't want to admit it. Like,
did you see Louis though? Louis was like, "What? Did you want to right now?"
Right? I'm like, no, I'm sticking, I'm shaking, buddy. I'm like, how is this gonna work? I don't understand this whole harbors. Armand likes to come home with boats coming into the harbor, so like he likes to come home to see him banging some dude. Is that? Remember when that was Louis' response to that situation? Do you want to do it now? Daniel was like, I'm good, and he's like, yeah, he likes to come home with boats coming into the harbor, and I was like, what? I was like, I don't think so. I don't. And then that makes
sense because when we saw it last season, when they first met, they were at the bar, and Armand said, "Nah, I don't want to join you guys." And then he came home later.
Well, no, again, he was there for cleanup. He expected said Daniel to be dead already, and all he had to do was wrap him up. Like he didn't expect to see the mess that Louis made, and he was like, "Crap, I gotta do this again." I thought Daniel was jealous when he found out that he was not number 5, he was number 154, and he was like, "Whoa."
He said, "You told me 5."
I know, right? I thought it was a little bit. I'm about to be murdered by
he
vampires, but at least I thought I was
hurt.
special. You're not.
He was hurt.
Armand was so jealous that Daniel and Louis were able to vibe in a span of 10 hours while Armand couldn't get that type of chemistry in 23 years. Yeah. I think that's any long-term relationship. Like when you with somebody for a while, and that new thing comes up and you're like, "Hey, how you doing?" In 23 years, that's a long time. And you got baggage. He killed your sister, daughter, whatever. You got baggage. You know what I'm saying? And he's not as exciting as your past lover. So, I mean, you don't come home, you might get choked out. You might be put up to the sky. That's exciting. You know what I'm saying? Like this dude always trying to take care of you and love you and shit. Who wants that? You know what I'm saying? You want violence. You know what I'm saying? See, Louis, that's how fucked up Louis is in the head. He don't know what a good relationship is. You know what I'm saying? He needs therapy.
I'm like, is there any way to kill Armand if he can just walk out in the daylight? So what kills him?
I know. That's a good question. That's a very good question.
Chopping his head off.
Yeah. How about that?
No, he does. So, okay. So I don't know how far they're going to get in the book, but no, all vampires will still die in the daylight. It's just, but the older you are, or like, I put it like this: the younger you are, the faster you just like go out just like that.
Yeah.
Just like that. So I think that's the route they went with. That's why it didn't even faze me that he was able to go out like that. I was like, oh yeah, he's like so old. You know what I mean? So but
well, to your point, Chris, they should have showed him burning as he went to go get Louis.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like he's putting himself just to save him, right? And that would have made a big brat. I think we're talking about Louis. Louis is definitely a kept man. He is, and also he's also a cocaine dealer. I don't want to put that out there. He probably again. I feel like he started the crack epidemic in California. I want that to be a thing.
Is he the reason why Franklin Saint went on? Did
that's what I'm saying.
It's all Louis.
He was the connect. It's like, oh, it all comes together now.
Oh my god!
I was like, oh shit, he started Snowfall.
Him and Have, man.
I think in a way Armand wants things to come to light, no pun intended, similarly to how he used Lestat to destroy the coven. I think that's a different thing. Again, I think Armand was trapped in those covens. Like as powerful as he is, he's also very passive, and therefore he's quick to be submissive to someone. And he needed some kind of outsider to kind of break that up. I don't think that's what's happening here, because I think he truly wants to he don't want his stuff to get discovered. But it's interesting how he's changed his story. Like now he's okay with Louis telling everybody what they are, right? Like he's like, and he's waiting for the other vampires to come, right? He's like you said, once he publishes the book, now we're gonna be attacked, by the other vampires in the world. Kind of weird. Why hasn't Lestat found them? That doesn't.
Yeah, that was. Yeah, that's. I think so. I won't say anything in case that they do it, but
because it doesn't make sense. Like he found Bruce, and all he read was some notes in a notebook, and was like, Bruce, assaulted Claudia, and he reached out and found him, right? Or at least mentally connected. You would think that if Armand was able to send him a mental text message, and then he's like, oh, wait a minute, I know where it came from. I can at least go to the city. I can get close, and he will come looking for Louis at some point, and be like, "I found you," or get on TV and be like, "Hey, if you're looking for love, I'm here. I'm only 250 years old, I don't know."
Oh my god, he's not Pennywise the dancing clown. Okay, you know what I mean? Like he don't just appear.
I mean, he can make an effort. At least sexually fluid. Daniel.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, there's something going on. Definitely Armand's mind control was strong, so strong that Daniel, he still lived out the life that Armand said he would. Oh,
yeah.
So all right. So you okay.
Yeah. Wait. I thought you. Well, yeah. I thought that's why you even brought up the whole thing about what Louis did as well. See, Louis. So that's the thing. So Louis. So what Louis did was because he knew he could not overwrite essentially something as powerful as what Armand told him. He put an extra nugget in there and basically said, no matter what, like you might have all these different misfortunes, but you will still but your passion of you writing is going to, you know what I mean? So his life was ruined essentially because of Armand. Ironically, even though Armand saved his freaking life, as well. So it's like,
so that's different. When he walked in, he thought again this was just another person that Louis was gonna, have sex with and kill and move on. But once he found out that he was special, then all of a sudden, then he became the enemy. Then he was like why is he so much better than me?
No, he didn't know. Okay, he didn't think it was just some other random dude because you saw how fast he had to go in and just like grab him. He thought he was too late. That's when flung him out.
Yeah,
but no, he did that to save Daniel's life, and it actually did save. But even though he did that, as he was saving Daniel's life, he thought Daniel was like gone. You know what I mean? He thought he was too late. So no, he wasn't there to like clean up the mess because in his head, like that's the thing, like. They were particular at that point in the 70s. They were particular as far as like if you are going to get someone to come home or whatnot, like this is the type of person you're going to get. Make sure no one that already saw this person coming back home with it. You know what I mean? All of this other stuff. You know what I mean? But now this man, now it's like, oh, the journalist, the guy whose tapes can actually put us all away. You know what I mean? Oh, by the way, the garbage man just saw you outside as you went outside. Now you got to go because
now I got to get him too
because of you.
Like damn it. So we talked about feeding off each other. So we, also again last year we saw that Armand Louis would feed off him. Seems like on a regular basis.
Yeah.
And we were saying that's how Armand keeps control of Louis's mind at some level.
Mm-hmm.
Because clearly he needed the blood once he went to the sun because he had to heal. And is Armand just so old that he doesn't have to feed that often? You know what I'm saying? Because he only eats and feeds every once in a while. I would have wanted to see that. I kind of wanted to see the hunt,
to see him do it.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
That would all you would see is just him kind of playing with his food.
Yeah, I mean, but that would
that's a good one. I like that.
I like that. Also, I don't know what evil this man did that he deserved to be hunted and murdered.
They said he was an arms dealer.
No, he made a general statement like if you can't find an arms, like Daniel, he don't know. Daniel just made an example. Like if you can't find an arms dealer, what do you do after that? I mean, because the guy didn't even give his name. He just walked in, acted like an asshole, and left. So, but I still would like to see him get hunted. That's just me. But I mean, but he don't have to chase you. I mean, he can just be like rest. And you just stop, and he'll just eat you. So that's, I mean, it's like maybe he want to get
but challenge of the chase, though.
Yeah. And I think it's a mental thing for Armand because he knows he's not, in his mind, he's not a bad person, and him reconciling what he has to do, he gives people a chance. At least in his mind, he's thinking this, right? So, and he's only targeting certain people. Think of Dexter, right? He's like, Dexter's like, I'm not bad. I get bad guys. I only kill bad guys, even though I'm literally killing someone, even though they are evil people. You know what I mean? It's kind of like that. I think that's how Armand is kind of trying to rationalize it a little bit, So,
Is the Talamasca, are they gonna be upset that Daniel confronted Louis with the enhanced audio that they gave him? You know what I'm saying? To be like, I don't think that was not the plan. To do that. I don't know if that's gonna come up, but it should.
Yeah.
Louis thinks stability is boring. And like I said, it happens. If you're in a exciting but dangerous relationship, that becomes your standard of what a vampire relationship.
Yeah. I was going to say that. Not I think literally that's what it is. Is poor Louis been he's been infected by craziness of it, that now all he wants now is bad boys. It's like he got a taste of it and he can't get away from it. And then here's Amar's boring. You know what I mean? So
he's like, I want to free you from this prison of empathy that I've given you.
What's the first thing he did with Daniel? When Daniel
Ahmad is boring. Like Lestat was all over the place.
Right.
He was fun. Their arguments, they could argue and bicker with each other. Next minute, they're floating in the sky having sex. It's like, so,
you can't compete to that.
No, I can't compete with that. No.
But to show you how Louis has changed or is inconsistent, and is when Lestat brought all those soldiers, those military people to the house, and he was like, and Armand and Luke, that's when Louis was like, no, why are you doing this? He's like, hey, like you could fuck him, I could eat him, and we could just be happy together. And he's like, no, get out of here. And I was like, what the? And now he's like, hey, Armand, go get some soldier boys and bring them over. I'm like, come on, man, make up your damn mind, bro. Like, if you would did this with Lestat, you would have been all right. Like, it's very confusing. Lestat and Louis ever meet again, that should be the conversation. I think Lestat thinks that Louis is happy with Armand. I
think he knows he's not.
No,
I think he's content with Armand, but he's not happy. Yeah. I think he's just content. And I think he loves him, but he will never love him, Armand, the way he loves Lestat. He still is deeply in love with that man. Yeah. And
even Claudia, even I loved how Armand threw it in Louis' face that with all this bullshit of like, I love Claudia. It all comes back to Lestat. You know what I'm saying? That you mentioned Claudia a couple of times, but in the end, all you want to do is talk about Lestat. I take care of you. And every damn day I got to hear about your ex, who's also my ex. So that's a whole other thing. That I'm like, so it's
that's why they should have never dated. Because who wants to date exes? Like,
People who was forced to get in rebound and they think in their head like, I'm gonna get back at you by getting.
That's true. That's true. So,
maybe Lestat is hurt somewhere. When Armand contacted him, I don't know. He sounded strange. Well, you would think by this has been decades. I mean, decades since Louis and Claudia tried to kill him. So he should be back up and running by now. By 1973 and definitely by 2000, something. But again, it's still interesting the way they put that out there. So you could hear Sam Reed's voice. If I was Lestat, I would think that he was done with my ass as well. Yeah, but those bad relationships just keep on coming back. Like it's hard. I mean, you kind of cut my throat, but what does that really mean? You know what I'm saying? Like that.
Yeah. You cut my throat, but I didn't. But did I die?
You know what I'm saying? I mean, everybody's been there. He's like, I still love you. I was like, what? Both of them need therapy. All of them need serious.
All of these relationships are dysfunctional. Period.
Yes.
They're all dysfunctional.
Yes.
But they're just great to listen to and to see. But I think the Lestat's relationship with Louis by far is like the best because of the arguing, the violence, the lovemaking, it's just so exciting. Armand is he's boring. He is. He doesn't have any of what Lestat has. Even when they're hunting together, it's like it's they just love it. And then when they brought Claudia into the fold, they were just happy dads with their daughter. Yeah. Enjoying. He has none of that with Armand. None of that.
Yeah. Maybe he didn't think he could try again. Like maybe he could make a new Claudia. Maybe thought that was too much. Maybe it's too much. I wish Lestat would have showed up to protect Claudia at the point when she needed somebody. So when she got assaulted by Bruce or like Paris.
No. Lestat thinks that Claudia was the reason why he almost died. He wouldn't do that.
Well, it depends on when you're talking about. But again, at that point, if you're talking about season 1, Lestat was blaming Claudia for Louis. Because Louis wanted Claudia. He spent decades talking about Claudia this and Claudia that, and Lestat was like, well, fuck Claudia. You know what I'm saying? If that's what this is about. I wonder why they find Daniel again by mailing him the tapes. Louis kept the tapes in San Francisco. Okay, wait. Okay, yeah. Why
now they find Daniel?
So I thought so. That's right. Louis mailed Daniel the tapes, right? That's what you're saying. Like so So Louis wants to start the book up again. So the question, what's going on in Louis's world that he's like, now is the time to really get this book right? Because I think he said, I sent you the tapes, don't you remember this? And da. So he wants to finish the interview. But does he know what happens to Claudia? I asked, we talked about this, I think, last video. Does Daniel know that Claudia is dead and how she died at this point? And if not, why is he not asking that question? Why? I mean, he knows they're real vampires. He knows that's a thing. Why is he not asking where Lestat and Claudia are present?
No, because you saw in this episode they never
Yep.
got to that in the interview.
Yeah, last time he brought it up, he almost died. Last
Okay, all right. So if he remembered someone in the interview, you would think that would be the next logical question again. Where is Lestat now? I lived in San Francisco in 1973. Everybody had one of those backgammon boards for their drugs. Okay. Well, look how detailed that is. Let's not be confessing this stuff. I think that this whole thing, he never really knew who he wanted to be with, but he didn't know if. But he did know it wasn't himself. He was looking for, again. So as a gay man, it was hard for him to find acceptance. So I think Lestat, for one, accepted him for being who he was, because he was also the same way. So that was a draw. Being his maker, that also made him fall in love. Lestat was exciting. He was charismatic. It was fun. And then that became the family that he kind of wanted, because his own family wouldn't accept him.
Rich.
And it also helps. Again, the boy liked to be kept. You know what I'm saying? And he didn't have to work, because everything Louis asked for, Lestat did for him.
Yeah.
I was like, ungrateful bitch. I mean, he was just like, come on.
Well, Armand is doing the same thing, and Louis is still not grateful. I'm like,
like Louis, that little fucker. I was like, he needs to work. He's got to get his own job.
He's a cat man.
Well, I'll put it to you this way: if Louis basically just wants to die, and Armand is forcing him to stay alive against his will, I'm like, I could see him being ungrateful.
Well, hey, Jamani, that's an interesting concept. Maybe after Claudia was murdered, maybe he was like suicidal. Like he said, do I need to be on suicide watch for the next 1,000 years? And it's like, maybe, you know what I'm saying? And maybe he is that kind of mentally unstable. But Daniel is a constant, somehow soothing voice to him, that he's like, we help each other, and maybe somewhere he needs Daniel to help him reconnect with himself and help him know what happened, and then he can tell the story. And then Armand is going to be there to be like, no, we don't want to go down this road again. We don't want to talk about this again, because he saw what Louis turned into after Claudia died. He knows how bad Louis can get. After he lost Claudia,
Louis needs to go backwards before he can move forward.
Yeah,
and that's what it is. Yeah.
And Daniel can help him. Can help him do that.
Right.
But Daniel's a journalist, not a therapist.
But he's a little bit of both now. I mean, he's at this point. And they were doing it for each other, really. Because I like the fact when Louis, he said, Louis, let's not talk about the big picture. Let's get back to the details. What's going on in the room? It's like, we got to work through this shit. We're running out of time. I thought that was cool. Louis wasn't ready for the apology. The stats. He was dealing with Jim Crow. That is a classic case of finding the right person in the wrong time. Okay. And maybe that's what it was. Maybe he wasn't grown enough to deal with Lestat the way he was. We got also, the real question is, why doesn't Louis protect Claudia more? Claudia was right in that argument. I hear you, but again, she did choose the coven. I mean, when they get there, he said, this is not good. They know, or they're probably gonna know, and they're probably gonna kill us. He said that, and this is another thing that we discuss. People were discussing in the comments. This season 2's version of Claudia is far more naive and trusting than Claudia of season 1.
Yeah,
like, and that doesn't make a lot of sense. Like, Claudia of season 1 would have peeped that this crew is gonna go after us, and she would have been the one like, we got to get up out of here. But she's like, I'm happy, I got a family, I just want to be here and be loved. And I'm like, what is this? Like, this, It's just not consistent. It's not consistent with the one who outsmarted Lestat by herself.
I think she's blind. She's blinded by like this by seeing the stuff seeing all the vampires in one spot and all that, and I think it's clouding her right. Like you see this in real life, even with smart people, right? Smart people, like you put a distraction in front of them, and they can look real dumb. You know what I mean? I think that's kind of what was happening with her. Is it's like she sees a family. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's it. I think that she wants the warmth of a family.
And it's clouding her judgment. It's clouding her judgment.
It is. Yes. And she feels like Louis is not he's not being there for her. He's hanging out with Armand, and she needs like people around her to make her feel good, right? And Louis is just not doing that for her. But also, he's not even trying, because he's like, okay, I'm gonna kind of support you by coming to the show, but I really don't want to. You know what I mean? Like he's got one leg in and one leg out, and it's like she wants him to be there for her, and he's not. He's with Armand, and she's with the coven, and that's it. And she doesn't want that. She wants him. She wants all of them to be together. I mean, she could throw. She probably doesn't want Armand anywhere near Louis, but she can't do anything about that.
Yeah, and again, Armand's frustration or hatred for Claudia is just because of Louis, because he's like, I want Louis and Louis. And
even though it's not a romantic love, he knows that Louis is not attracted to her sexually, but it's someone else that Louis is giving attention to, and showing feelings for. And Armand is like, no, you can only have it for me. You know?
Yeah.
And that's so yeah, we gotta talk about this. I'm just confused on the power dynamic to Armand and Louis. Like he's being jealous, but then he flexes like he's got this kind of power.
Yeah.
But he's still subservient to to Louis out of some type of love or something. And acceptance. Like he's still, and again, like so we see in this episode, it kind of stems from Paris and Claudia. He's like, have I not done enough to to atone for what happened? And maybe he spent the last 30 years just trying to do that. I cared for you, and I know you lost Claudia now, and I couldn't stop it. Like I couldn't stop it from. So in the book, I did listen to the book. Like Lestat was responsible for that. Like Lestat was there as the one that orchestrated Claudia's death. But I don't think they didn't do it in the movie, and I don't think they're going to do it in the show.
That's a misconception. So he warned. So okay, he did warn. So to your point, Lestat did warn the troop, and basically told him what Claudia and Louis did to him. However, that they and to say to punish them, but the troop already had in their own mind as far as what to do with them. So Lestat was actually distraught when he heard what happened to Claudia. He didn't want that. He wanted her to be punished, but not that way. You know what I mean? So I mean, yeah. So I mean, what you're saying isn't wrong. Like he did tell the troop or whatever, but Lestat is not the one that wanted her gone. You know what I mean? He did,
Well, I don't think he's gonna be there. Like the movie didn't put Tom Cruise there in Paris.
Yeah.
I don't think
they changed so much already. Like Armand, I mean, for one, Armand and Louis never even hooked up to begin with. They never hooked up. So that alone is already made up, And not to mention Daniel and Armand never even met. So that part was made up too. So yeah. So to your point, they'll probably do whatever they want. They'll probably most likely probably do like the movie, like you said, so which I think with what we have now might make more sense. You know what I mean?
I think they don't want to put Lestat in such a bad position that he was in any way responsible for Claudia being murdered.
However, to Jamani's point, they might try to find a reason to put Lestat in the season somehow and just have a birth like they'll just have a Lestat all messed up and like kind of like still trying to heal, and still talking to like, hey,
he's sending a message to Santiago. He's talking to Santiago. And maybe that's what it is. To your point, Armand was a whore before turning to Louis, and Louis was a pimp, and they do kind of switch power dynamics. And we talked about that in last week's episode. Armand is again as powerful he is, he's still conditioned to be subservient to someone. But I did like how they were bickering at each other. I mean, he was like, all you do is cry about being the victim. And it's like, all you do is placate me, and I'm tired of you. And So the interesting that he was like, it's the drugs. The drugs are in you, Louis, and now you're speaking your truth. And he's like, you've been so mean to me. He's like, I'm tired of your shit. Now take care of me, you bitch. And he's like, okay. And then he does.
Yeah, he does. He does. Because I mean, there's a lot of people who have these dysfunctional relationships, and it works for them. But the outside looking in, you're like, this is madness. Like, why don't you guys just break up? But it's like they're drawn to each other. Like they need the drama in order to function.
They're just codependent. It's just a very like weird dynamic with all these characters. But again, I really am sad to see that Claudia's probably going to be coming to an end sometime soon. So let's say how Armand deals with guilt is through acts of service. He serves, and how Louis deals with guilt is through self-harm. So in not killing Daniel, Armand is atoning for something, because he asked the question, why did he spare my life? Like, if Armand has killed so many people, and it's like, well, actually I did. Like, it was actually like Louis that was like, no, like he needs to be okay. Like the boy can be something. And they kind of did it together. But does Armand still feel that jealousy towards Daniel? Does he still feel like, why is he, after all these years, you still are interested in Daniel? Is he still fascinated?
Yeah, I think so, because Armand just wants Louis to himself, period. Like, he doesn't. I mean, have you ever dated someone who kind of like is like, why are your boys hanging around? I mean, I don't want to be around. You know what I mean? Like, make them go away. Why is your brother and sister always over here? You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a lot of people who are like that. They want to isolate you and just, wrap themselves around you like a boa constrictor. And you're like, wait a minute, I need to go to the bar and hang out with guys and talk to guys for a second. You know what I mean? And women do this a lot, but there are men who do it also, and it's suffocating. It really is, because they're so insecure within themselves that they just can't allow you to be happy or fun, having fun with anyone other than them.
Yeah, I was gonna say, oh, you're happy and I'm not around. Oh, I don't like that. I'm like when you're happy, I need to be around you. Like, because I know people like that. You're right.
And that's so dysfunctional, but the people who are doing it, they don't see it. No. They don't see it, and it's very, very bad. It's a very bad.
And the next you know, it's like, oh, you're smiling too much. Oh, you must be cheating. You know what I mean? Like,
you like them more than you like me. Yeah.
Chris Rock is like, why do you have a smile on the face that I put on there? Women get suspicious. They're like, why are you happy? That didn't make you happy.
Yeah.
I just, with my friends, can I do that? If a vampire just feeds off you, you're a snack. They have to drain you to kill you. I mean, so maybe Daniel was just tasty. I mean, all the drugs, he was a tasty drug cocktail, which is interesting. But anyway, what was it? I wonder if that's the real Claudia, because it is weird.
What you mean, the real Claudia?
I don't know what you mean.
Yeah.
Are you saying if the Claudia we're seeing is like is just in Louis' head and it's kind of been messed up by Armand? Is that what you're trying to say when you say the real Claudia?
So we still have been talking about that, right? Like, how much of this is genuine, and how much is this what Armand put into Louis' head?
And what's the true story? Yeah.
And then people themselves, we were the hero of our own story, or we're the victim. Like, it was very rare we put ourselves into the villain perspective when we're telling.
I feel like this is the real story, because as we saw in this episode, we saw little Easter eggs, the stuff with like of both Louis and Daniel, like missing information or just random stuff popping in Daniel's minds that Armand was saying to him.
Yeah,
that made him like trying to look. He's like, whoa, you know what I mean? But we're not that they would have to do that for every scene or whatever. But there's no indication that this is made up. You see what I'm saying? And then if they make this up, then hell, stuff from first season gonna be made. You know what I mean? I don't know.
I think this is the true story that we got today. And then but Ahmad is really upset about that. He doesn't. He's not gonna like that they know parts of the real story.
Well, yeah. Well, no, I mean, yeah. I mean, to be honest, if you remember, like, I guess the beginning of the season, that's the reason why Armand showed up in the first place for the interview. He was like, yeah, because he was like, oh, you guys are talking about Paris. Oh yeah, I'm gonna be part of this combo.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Yeah. First season, he ain't care. He was just some background character. He ain't care. He's like, oh, you're getting to Paris now. Oh, yeah. Oh, you know what? Yeah. Introduce me real quick. Introduce me. I'm a vampire too. I'm a vampire
you guys can't get to the nitty gritty without me.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. He's yeah. So it's definitely it's an interesting device that Armand is using, because Armand is realizing that there's little fragments that can, you mean, yeah, you might be very powerful to infect people's minds or whatnot, but I mean, that don't mean there's like not small little crumbs there that people still have, and those crumbs are starting to reform into an actual cookie again. And, because, and Armand saw that. And I feel like in the next episode, you're going to hear Armand just get pissed off at Louis, saying like, this is why I didn't want you to do the interview in the first place, blah, 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 blah. You know what I mean? It's going to be the next episode. I feel, I don't know how much they're going to go back to the troop, maybe, in the next episode, but I feel like, the first half of it will just be a lot of bickering between the three. You know what I mean? Between the three, just being like, it's like, why did you mess with my mind? What in the world? Blah, 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 blah.
What have you done?
Yeah. So if he's really that powerful, I'm like, why doesn't he just wipe their minds again, and then it just starts from square one? But then that wouldn't be.
Wouldn't have a season 2.
Yeah, but I'm saying that you can't make a character that powerful and then say, oh, well, he chooses not to use the power when he's used it before.
Jamani, we would never have superhero movies in. I mean, that's like saying why don't Superman just stop the bad guys in the very beginning and then just end it? You don't have a Superman movie. Yeah, what I mean? Like
the powers are very inconsistent when they want them to be inconsistent. Because Armand would be deep inside Daniel's mind at every moment to be like, what is he thinking? What is he believing our story? Is he not believing our story? Again, who is he talking to? What is he like? He would know all that shit by now, and Daniel would be on a wall somewhere to be like, I'm sorry, Daniel said he's not coming back anymore. Louis, he had an accident. Yeah. I don't know what happened. Yeah. Anywho, let's move on.
When Armand walked into the room at the very end of the episode, and Lee was like, so how was it? And what was it, Danny? I think it was Danny. And he was like, well, how was it? And he was like, oh, it was fine, basically, right? And it was like, does Armand know that Louis and Danny got together and are figuring out the truth? Because he can see and hear what they're saying. So I'm like,
he should be able to put those two things together. But I would not let Daniel run around my house without being inside his mind and his electronics. Damn it!
Right.
Like I was like, what are you bringing into my house that I need to know of? That's just basic stuff. Hell yeah, everyone wants Louis. Yeah, he does. He must got the special sauce apparently.
I mean, look at him. Of course they want him.
I was like,
I want to know, does vampires adapt with technology? So can he read the computer just like he reads minds? Like,
no, I don't know about all that now. But he should. But just human nature. Like when you see like Daniel, I mean, with this illness, and he can't really control his emotions like he can, and he's slipping, and you can clearly tell that he's distracted. He's thinking about something else, and that he's making up stories as he's talking to you. Like that's pretty obvious. So you would think that they would be again reading his mind, like he talked about his ex-wife and that sort of thing. I know a couple that one loves to make the other jealous, just to get a reaction out of them. Yeah,
I've known many couples like that. Trust me. Yeah,
that shit ain't healthy. That's how the cops get called.
Or somebody ends up, DOA. Yeah, I mean,
that's not how.
Not cute, not funny. No.
The way how Jacob has a chemistry with everyone on this show, not surprised. So I thought when he got burnt, he reminded me of his Unsullied character. Like that's what when he was in the coffin, he did look like he was on Game of Thrones, like with his head shaved and shit. I was like,
but that makeup, I thought that makeup was phenomenal. I love the makeup. Yeah.
The special effects top notch. Like when the sun was taking them.
Oh, that wasn't it good?
That was good too. That was good.
And then all of a sudden, you don't even see Armand. He just pulls him back.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my God. That was a good.
That was awesome. That was awesome. Yeah. And again, him walking into the sun is so important because he told Claudia, I would never do that. Like, I'm here for you. Like, I won't do that. And it's like once he remembered that Claudia is again, like it's a blurry memory in his head. It's like he just knows she's not around anymore. I think to be like, he's like, I just don't want to live. Like, I just don't want to be here. Yeah. And Armand's just trying to hold them together. But anyway, we will see what happens next week's episode. Come on, let's wrap this up. I'm getting tired. Anyway,
I gotta go, so I'll go first. So but I hear the baby in the background. So yeah, so let me go.
Oh, okay.
So, anyway, I'll just say really good episode. Love you guys, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I gotta go. Bye.
Bye. Bye, daddy. Bye, daddy. Not my daddy. He has a baby. That's what I meant. All right, Jamani, what you got?
Yeah, I was just looking at the IMDb and it said episode 7 is I Couldn't Prevent It. That's the title of it. So I'm thinking that's the episode when Claudia goes. So, there's one more Claudia filled episode, which is 6 next week. So, all right, let's see them lead up to, everything that happens. And yeah.
Okay, sounds like it's gonna be good.
Yeah, so I think they make her mate. So I think that does happen. That was in the preview. So I think she has at least one episode, with her companion, and then like to your point, she gets murdered in episode 7. Then they both get put sent to the fire, to the sun in episode 7. That's probably how they're gonna work that out.
I have no idea what's gonna happen after that, like with the episode 8, how they're gonna close out the season necessarily.
Louis kills him. I mean, that's in the book and the movie. So I mean, if she dies in episode 7,
he's gonna kill the coven for sure.
Yeah, he's gonna kill the coven in episode 8.
And then it'll end. Yeah, and then we go to season 3.
Yeah. Then what's the aftermath of that? Basically.
So is Lestat gonna ever end up in the back of Daniel's car or something like that?
I know, right? I think that was just in the movie. I don't think that was in the book. But that was a cool scene though. That was a very cool scene. And you still need the part when Louis was watching Superman, I guess, whatever. When he spent the rest of his years learning how movies work and shit. I don't know. We're gonna get any of that. I think there's gonna fast forward. I don't know. These are all good questions. I don't know.
Yeah. All right. So comment, like, subscribe.
Thanks. I appreciate your enthusiasm. I'll see you next week. All right, Kim. What you got, please?
No, I can't wait to see what's gonna happen in the next episode. Anywho, thank you, chat. We love you. We couldn't do it without you guys. Please comment on each one of the videos. We're trying to reach 500 views per video. Share the video with anyone and everyone. We're trying to reach 2,100 subscribers by June 19th, which is my birthday. So it'd be a really great birthday present if you guys could help us with that. So also hit the notification bell so you know when the next video is coming. We will see you all next weekend. Thank you. Have a great week, everybody.
Thanks, Kim.
You're welcome.
She's a sweet. Boop. All right. Thank you guys for hanging out. We had some transition this weekend, which is why we did everything on Sunday. But we'll get back to a regular schedule, hopefully this coming weekend. Do you think Claudia will cry out for Lestat to save her epically, especially if Armand is part of the attack? I do. When he says, "Do you hear her?" Do you hear her calling out? I think he hears that when they put him into the coffin, into the wall, and he has to listen to her dying, and there's nothing he can do about it. And then Armand didn't stop it. I mean, he couldn't stop it either way. So he kind of blames him for that, but they're still together. So that's kind of a thing. Based on the way the trailer ended with Santiago saying "one of our own." Another reason I couldn't prevent it. So again, next week is like the trial starts and everything. They're kind of built up to Claudia kind of being put to the sun. And I want to see how Claudia reacts to Santiago turning on her. Would be very interesting because I think she thinks that he's taking a liking to her, and I think he did. I mean, and then once he finds out what really happens, that becomes a problem. But anyway, bye. Thank you again. Thank you guys for hanging out with us. We will see you on the weekend. And we'll probably come up with some more content. Please check the comments section. I will get back to everyone's comments from the last video. I haven't done that yet, but I will. And these videos we will do before we start recording again next week. So have a good week. I will say thank you guys very much for hanging out with us. I see people watching us in the chat.
I enjoyed the view very much. I don't know what the fuck I was watching.
Rewatch this. Rewatch this when we're done. Rewatch this. You'll see what we're talking about. You're gonna be like, oh shit.
Hilarious. Absolutely hilarious.
What do I go there?
Oh shit. AC, do your thing.
Fuck that shit.
But anyway, please like and share and comment on the video and all that kinds of stuff. As they say, we're just gonna end this broadcast and say bye.